Alright guys, just spawned in Chiang Mai. Another beautiful, beautiful day in Chiang Mai. The weather is great. It feels like a perpetual spring town. It's warm, but it's not too humid. Um, it just feels nice to walk around with the sun on your back. Anyway, today we're gonna go to the gym and we're probably gonna do random things and try foods and go shopping, so hopefully it's fun. But we'll take you along for the ride. See you later. We're going to Pump Fitness right now. Now we're going to the gym, baby. Pump Fitness. Let's get jacked. 100 baht for the day pass. It's $3, bro. That's as cheap as it's gonna get in the entire world, bro. Maybe there's gonna be cheaper in Vietnam. I don't know, but super hype. People probably like, Kev, you're on vacation. Why are you going to the gym? And I'm like, bro, don't you know what Socrates says, my guy? He says it's a shame for a man to grow old without getting fucking swole. Okay? If you're not jacked, what are you doing with your life, bro? You have to always be physically active, no matter where you are. That's how you're gonna keep sane in this crazy world, you know? Not only does it keep you with a strong body, but it also benefits your mind, you know? That's the power of fitness. In a way, it's its own meditation, it's its own yoga, you know? It's not just picking things up and putting them down. See, because in the wild, there's tons of fish in there, by the way. They're like small little ones, though. Look at the fish. Look at the fish.
Oh, there's a fish.
Right, look at it. That's a fish. There's a lot over there. But anyway, it's just like a meditation, you know, or like a yoga. Especially if you're super into it and you're really in tune with your breath. Like, what is yoga? It's moving with your breath. When you lift weights, you're moving with your breath. You know, at least if you're doing, like, in my opinion, real lifting. Like, there's obviously machines in bodybuilding, but like when you do compound movements, you have to move everything, you know? That's what I think is the more meditative style. When you're doing a full body movement and you have to brace and breathe and clench and grip, and you're not just doing your little bicep, you know? But yeah. Bro, there's so many health benefits to just being jacked. And, they got the roast pork. And dumbasses will genuinely respect you more just because you're jacked.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I don't care if people respect you or not, but I'm just saying, like, in your day-to-day life, if you're walking around swole, little twinks, and jacked guys alike will be like, oh, he's jacked. He definitely knows what he's doing with life. Anyway, it's also just good for balance in life. You can't be purely intellectual and purely like in the mental and spiritual. Being in tune and in touch with your body and moving it through space from time to time is a good way to keep that balance, you know? My brothers and my schwesters, I need caffeine, I need liquid. Michaela has brought us to a wasteland. There's nothing. And then she gets mad when I'm hungry. I'm decaffeinated. And she gets mad at me. But that is love. We get annoyed. It is cute. I love it on my... Today's a fun adventure because we're going through the streets, the side streets, away from the old city of Chiang Mai. It's a beautiful hotel right here. And we're gonna go to the gym. So we get to explore our gym's neighborhood because we're probably gonna go to this gym for the next 2 weeks if it's good and it's not too packed with tourists. But I feel like it won't be. I feel like it's way too out of the way to be packed with tourists. Don't you think? Okay. It really must be nice to live in Chiang Mai, you know? I feel like I'm in an Italian like mountainy neighborhood right now with the vibes. Look, there's like flowers, shrubbery. This little stream right here with animals and coconut trees. Feels like a little alternate reality of like goddamn Italy, right? Look at this over here, like the way the buildings are colored too. Very nice pastel to match, not match, but a pastel to balance with the bright greenery and bright colorful flowers. Then you have the backdrop of motorbikes in the background, and then here and there you have some Asian architecture. Bro, this gym is epic. I've never seen one of these in America. What the hell? They even have a safety squat, bro. This is epic. We should use this. Baby. All right, guys, that was a great workout. Michaela almost stepped into a death trap right now. Didn't even notice. I hit a full body. Let me do it again. All right, guys, that was a great workout. I hit full body. I did front squats. I did OHP. I'm only gonna show the OHP because that's the one I care about the most right now. I did OHP. What the hell is this, bro? Some Indian temple? What the hell? What the hell? It's fire. Indian temple, bro. Hanuman. What's up, my guy? I love Hanuman. He's dope. Anyway. Hit OHP, I hit squats, I hit rows, I hit deadlifts. Then I hit the assault bike for 20 minutes. Doing 10 rounds of hit, 1 minute on, 1 minute off. I really think, so a lot of lifters try jiu-jitsu out, and I was one of them. And it's like immediately, like it feels good to do it. And I think it's literally just from the cardio high. And I think if lifters actually did like seriously hard cardio, instead of just like treadmill walking, they genuinely get like a really good cardio high without having to do jiu-jitsu. And like, I love jiu-jitsu. I did it for like 3 years of my life straight, religiously. I worked at a gym. I got the purple belt. But it was hard to hit the gym and do jiu-jitsu at the same time. It was just, I was just super tired from jiu-jitsu, like especially as like a natty lifter slash practitioner. I'd always be super tired after training jiu-jitsu. And jiu-jitsu kind of like forces you into certain positions all the time. So you get very tight because you have to stay tight. And like in these rigid, like imbalanced positions when you're passing guard or playing guard, for example, and people stretch you or like put your arm into like weird places, and like it just makes you tight and imbalanced and unstable. So when I would lift, I'd always get like nearly injured or like get nagging pain all over my body, all the lifts I'd do. So like I'd have to do like all the bro lifts instead and not be able to do my compounds. But what I've noticed is coming back to lifting and lifting heavy recently, my body feels great. I'm getting more mobile. I feel stronger, I feel healthier. It's almost like jiu-jitsu was the problem with my body. And yeah, it's fun. It's cool to like learn self-defense, but if you go too hard and take it too seriously, like your body will be ruined. And I think I'm better off without it, you know? I got enough out of it to like be able to fight and defend myself. It's like literally muscle memory at this point. I could pull out a rear naked choke and take down a sweep, a guard pass, and a pin with my eyes closed. Because I literally did it every single day for multiple times a day for years. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Like, if you wanna, like, I feel like you should learn how to fight or learn some martial art, and it'll definitely make you more comfortable existing as a man, you know. But there's my my take there. I'm gonna try to like. I love being like funny and joking around and like gesture maxing all the time, but like I also want to be serious too. Like, so I'm gonna throw in my like philosophy rants and my thoughts about life too. We don't always have to be joking all the time, you know. You can be serious too. Both ways are quite entertaining, huh? Cause like you have like those movies, like we love comedies, but then we also like watching serious movies, you know. I feel like vlogging. I feel like vlogging could be the same, you know. It doesn't always have to be comedic or a certain theme. It can like change per video or like during a video, you know. There's some 2 thoughts right there. 2 cents from little Kev. Ooh, ba, ba, ba. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna pause on the food reviews like during the videos, and I might just do like the walkie-talkies, because it's kind of hard to review and start recording in all these random places. There's tons of people always talking. You don't really get put in like your own, like I'm not like some famous Mark Wiens motherfucker, you know. I don't really get to have my own little booth or my like own little quiet section, my like perfect mic or camera crew, like sound editing. So I think I'm gonna put all my shorts for food and maybe some talking, but like my main videos is gonna be me talking and exploring and looking at things. That way the audio is better, the quality will be better, and I get to be more myself rather than trying to like not really fit a certain vibe, but like trying to like repress myself in a way in the restaurant so that I don't come off as too obnoxious, because I want to be polite to the people serving the food, you know. I don't like being that type of YouTuber, you know. We're currently walking through the rural-ish outskirts of Chiang Mai, where there's just car mechanics, sparse food, and 7-Elevens and gas stations. Not really much to see, but it's a peaceful life. Here's my scenery right now. Cute little wooden chairs for sale, I think. And then this beautiful, beautiful highway. Yay. Here we are at the banks of the Ping River in Chiang Mai, the site of a glorious city. Marvel at the fluorescent green and beautiful mossy colors of the river. I wonder what creatures inhabit this land. I know not, therefore I shall Google it. And I am a man who still uses Google, unlike you low IQs who love ChatGPT and can't type for yourself. Here we are on the other side of the Ping River, exploring, enjoying what Chiang Mai has to offer. The beautiful crown city of the north, the illustrious, the wondrous Chiang Mai. Let's see what the opposite side of the river. Mud. Fellow Westerners over there smoking a cig. I think it's this restaurant there, bro. Think about how many years it's been since this beautiful land has been inhabited. This river. This river has fed generations after generations. Children have grown up playing along the banks. It's quite beautiful indeed, isn't it? Isn't it? Anyway, guys, it's just fire. It's hot as fuck right now, and I'm hungry. So we're gonna go get some Chiang Mai crispy pork in a soup. 'Cause I love that shit. You already know. Never mind, guys. It's not in the soup. Michaela scolded me. She said it's in a clay pot, actually. She didn't scold me. I just say that for dramatic effect. She raised up her little hands. You're like, what are you talking about? I wasn't scolding him. Why are you trying to make me sound mean? I knew exactly what she said with one hand gesture. For going. Yo, guys, that may be the best crispy pork I've ever had in my life. It just crunched the entire time it was in your mouth. It tasted amazing. The flavor was like a good porkiness. Like, you know, like sometimes when it's too porky, that's why I hate some bacons. I'm not like the biggest fan of bacon. I don't like how porky it is and sweet. But there's like a nice balance of porkiness, and that crispy pork had it. Everything about it was amazing. I'll let you go back, but there's like one nearby where we're going right now that has some big, juicy, chunky looking crispy porks. And I bet that shit is bomb too. Damn, guys. Chiang Mai is truly beautiful. Like, even though we're nearly being run over right now because of our poor choices in direction, we're alive, and the scenery is quite stunning. The air is clean for now, and the sun feels good. I imagine this is the weather in the Greek islands of the Peloponnese in the early winter or spring. I don't know. I'm just talking to my ass right now. Now we're crossing back over the Ping River in Chiang Mai, as Bolden Bankrupt would say. This one does not seem as sturdy up here. Hopefully we don't die. Look at the vibes though. Immaculate. Beautiful, beautiful vibes. The floor does not seem too stable. Looks like they added this after they built the bridge. Guys, that shit was like a single metal panel above a crazy ass fucking drop into the Ping River, where I would have surely met my death. Alright, guys. Made it over the river. We're alive. But we ain't there yet. We got another 20, 30, 40 minutes to get there. And the horses are tired. And they need water. So we're gonna find a camp to rest soon. If we don't, we'll die in this desert. Just walking around here in Chiang Mai, and you spot this illustrious golden thing. I think it's a stupa. It's a beautiful temple to go alongside it. Let's check it out. And this one's fire. Why isn't it more popular? Looks just like the other ones. Look at this, bro. Who knows how old this shit is? They don't have any of the information online. They probably do, but it's all in Thai. There's so many random temples dotted along the map. I don't think I can go in here because I got shorts on. There's no women allowed in there. Okay, let's tight. This part that I passed earlier. Damn, this one's old and low-key and local. That's Aura. Cool as shit, bro. These always amaze me. I see them every time, but the really golden ornate ones are crazy. We're just vibing and meditating. Hell yeah, baby. Casually came upon a beautiful temple, And now we continue on our journey to the other temple. Will we make it before it closes? Who knows? And then right next to the temple, we turn the corner and civilization is here. Yet again, the beautiful, beautiful streets of Chiang Mai surprise me every second and every minute. Every moment, a new surprise. Open 8 p.m., close at 1:30. Freely pizza out of a goddamn truck. Pizza oven in the truck, bro. That's fire. Looks like they're mourning the queen over here. Doing a little procession. All women. You know, the world is so goddamn crazy all the time. Sometimes it's just cool to go for a walk and talk to yourself, bro. You know? Like, about judgment, for example. Everybody's always judging other people because they're afraid. Sometimes there's like rational, there's like logical judgment, you know? Somebody's being a dumbass. But like, is that judgment or is that just advice? You know? When you're telling them to chill out so you don't die. You know? But then they're just bum ass people who are just party. And I'm judging them too right now by like calling them bum ass people, but like they're just party poopers. Nobody can have fun because everything you do, or like everything everybody does is corny. You know, self-expression is corny. Everybody has to act locked in and be nonchalant all the time. Look at this cool ass elephant holding this little stick thing, Chad. But like, we genuinely don't always have to be super locked in, you know? We could be whimsical. We could be chalant. Yeah, like people love. Some of the best stories are when people are fucking super chalant, you know? They care. They love. They experience. They feel emotion. They're not always trying to look cool and fucking horror farm and shit, bro. Cause like, bro, the coolest thing you could do is feel, bro. And be yourself. That's when you really start living life, you know? When you feel, when you let yourself feel, let yourself experience and explore. Instead of always worrying, like, bro, instead of worrying about like what people are gonna say and do, just do your shit, bro. Literally. People always like talk about it, you know, but they never do it. They're never out there just exposing themselves. Like, don't go outside butt ass naked, you know. But like, expose yourself on the inside, bro. It's like so many people are like repressing themselves, and they're just haters in the corner. Like while you're in the club dancing in the dance floor, vibing with the Stacy's, they're in the wall, flaming you and recording you. Like, look at this guy, he's crazy, he's dancing. You know? Lame man motherfucker. But you generally just have to be like, I feel like the only intolerance we need is intolerance of intolerance. That's like what I'm trying to get at. There's so many people who are afraid to do it themselves, so they think nobody else could do it. Or they shame other people for doing what they want to do, that they refuse to do because they're scared, you know? So that's the moral of the story for the day. Be chalant, bro. Live your life to the fullest. Be a pure soul. Be like a dog, bro. We need more dogs and less cats, you know? Everybody wants to be a cool cat, not a silly dog. The dogs are passionate, you know? Cats are like monks, they're like enlightened. They're like always nonchalant. Dogs feel the passion, you know? Dogs see you get home, they get hyped. Dogs see you bring food, they get hyped. Dogs and cats are two opposites. Cats are like detached and enlightened in that sense.
And dogs are attached to enlightenment, you know? They enjoy life. Look, as I said, that a cat comes out. Hello, please don't scratch me. Peace, bro. So in a world that's skewing toward trying to be the cat, I say be the dog. You know? Be a mangy, scruffy, stupid ass dog. I think you'll be happy that way. Look at this cool ass temple we just stumbled upon during our journeys. There's some monks here vibing. Cute little like big head baby Buddhas. There's a cool stoop over here. Awesome. Bro, look at this mighty ass world tree, bro. That's some crazy ass trees in Thailand. Here's the other part of the temple over here. I'm not gonna go in. It's too much work at that point. But super dope. I feel like tons of them like this at this point, but it's always nice to pop in for a second. Kids helping the monks out to clean. Whether those are monks in training, or they're orphans, or just local kids who are being enriched. Fucking big ass bug just landed on me. I wiped him out though. Dumbass. Sorry for killing a bug, Buddhist. I had to do it. But yeah, guys, be a goddamn dog, bro. There is to it. You ever think a dog has been ashamed of being a goddamn dog? Dogs just dog. Dogs just be dogging, bro. They be hot dogging. Don't be a cool cat, be a hot dog. Oh man, I think I just coined a new term. Don't be a cool cat, be a hot dog. That's fire. So guys, more on this life. After being here for a bit, experiencing Buddhism firsthand with my own eyes. Like I've seen temples and stuff in America, but you know, and like looked it up on my own, watched videos, documentaries and such. But actually being here to experience it, I truly think it's like the anti-Western life, you know? Or the anti-Western ideals, in a way. And like, I like Western stuff. Like, I like medieval shit. I love cowboys, you know? I love the West. Rome, Greece, Eastern Europe, like it's all cool to me. The Vikings, it's all fire. But I feel like a big problem with our society right now is all this like new agey religion stuff like that, bro. Like it's all just hold on. I'm gonna cross over this shit. All just wishy-washy. And I feel like it's so focused on the intangible. Like, yes, you can become enlightened, for sure. It's definitely a real thing. Enlightenment exists. I haven't seen it, I haven't done it, but I think it's real. But I feel like there's so many New Agers or Westerners trying to fit into this Eastern spirituality. And I've always been like, you know, super respectful and love Buddhism. But, what's up? Anyway, everyone's always like, it's always just a wishy-washy, and it's like all this stuff about like non-attachment and, you know, which is good, and it's like to an extent. But I feel like, think about how like the family system is corroding and stuff like that, you know? Because they preach these things in Buddhism and stuff like that. But when you come here, people will still have the family unit, more or less, you know? They take care of the family. and stuff like that. And this Buddhism stuff is mainly for the lay people. I mean, not for the monks. You know, they like the lay people just follow like the basic rules. You know, just being a good person for the Buddhists. But they're not doing like all the extra stuff that the Buddhist people are doing, like the monks are doing. So they live a normal life. I feel like a lot of Westerners are trying to be monks while also being a lay person, and it alienates you from your family and from your friends, you know, because you start practicing this non-attachment thing, and you detach yourself from your family. You know, you start like checking in less, or you know, not always being around. And I feel like for myself, like I come from a Dominican background. I feel like what we need is the opposite, you know? Like when I'm not around or I'm not hanging out all the time with my family, they feel that, like they genuinely miss me, you know? And maybe I could be detached, and maybe I can see the world a certain way, and I can, you know, I can understand this like attachment, this non-attachment. Come on, bro. He made it through. You can make it. I can understand this attachment and non-attachment stuff. But they can't. And seeing me be attached and not around hurts them. And do I want to be so selfish and hurt them in that way? No, I don't. And there's also this other thought I had. I forgot who it was. But somebody says like it takes like a insane type of monster to detach yourself. Because like Buddha was cool, like great guy, you know? Taught the world a lot of cool things. But think about what he did. To find his own enlightenment, he left his family, completely abandoned them in search of his own selfish desire for enlightenment, for liberation. Think about that. Like, do you think his family was liberated when he left them? You know, they probably felt a lot of pain. He had a wife, pretty sure he had a kid. He left his horse behind, he left his dad, his family. Like, to achieve the enlightenment, it was, in a way, also the most selfish thing imaginable, because you have to leave everybody behind and stop caring about them, stop thinking about them, and solely go in it for your liberation, you know? So, by trying to be selfless and detached, you're also being selfish, you see? Because this selflessness, this detachment and selflessness is ultimately, like the desire itself is ultimately rooted from selfishness. Everything is selfish. Everything is a desire. Like even to be desireless is also a strong desire. That's why recently I've been messing with Shaktiism or Shaivism, Kashmir Shaivism. I'm not sure if it's the same thing, but Shaktiism or Shaktism. There's this type of like religion in like India, or this belief system where they talk about there being like Shiva and Shakti. And Shiva is like the immaterial, spiritual, like mental energy. And Shakti is the material world. And they're mirrors of each other. So Shiva, come on. Shiva is a mirror. Shiva and Shakti are mirrored, you know? I think Shiva looks in a mirror and Shakti comes out or something like that. And he sees Shakti. Something like that, bro. It probably makes sense either way, you know? But anyway, Shakti is the material, feminine energy. And that's like corresponding to the goddess Kali, for example. And a lot of the people who worship it or like believe in it. Look at this cool ass fucking stupa right here, bro. Hold on. That shit. Casual. A lot of people who believe in it and kind of like worship it, they. I want one more time. Ancient. A lot of people who believe in it and kind of like worship it, they kind of just show. They live life differently. It's almost like the Bhagavad Gita too, where Krishna says, "Be in the world, but not of it." You know what? I feel like the Buddhists try to fully leave the world, you know? That's like what I see for myself, at least. That's why I don't think it's a good ideology for a Westerner to have. Because they don't see anything good with the world. But like in the Bhagavad Gita, I talk about like, yeah, there's spirituality, but what you do in this world matters too. And then in Shaktiism, you truly care about the material world, you know? You think like materialism is beautiful in a way. This world is material, like it's all we see. So why shun it? Why like run away from it, you know? Even if it is corruption or if it isn't, you know? Sometimes a delusion can lead to an enlightenment. Everything is all connected in the end, you know? If there's a material and there's a spiritual, then I feel like you can learn things about either side through either side, you see? You can learn spiritual truths from materialism and material truths from spiritualism. They go hand in hand. That's why we got dualism and non-duality, you know? And like to have duality, you also need non-duality. And to have non-duality, you need duality. They're kind of like opposite spectrum, but they work together in a way. Because within non-duality, you have duality. You know, there's both sides still. You just think of them as one coin. But just trippy, you know. I really think we should invest more in reality and stop running away to religion and like running away to spirituality. We should be in the world. We don't have to be of the world, you know, as Krishna says. We don't have to be a slave to the world, you know. I guess that's like the non-attachment that's good for you, you know. Acting without attachment, doing what you need to do, your duty, your mission, you know. If my dharma, my mission is to help my family and be there for my family, that's my mission. That's my duty in life, you know. It's not my mission to go run off on my own, be selfish, because I want to find enlightenment, you know. But like I want to find my own peace. Sometimes you have to suffer, you have to go through pain. That's how you learn, you know. Fully trying to avoid and diminish suffering and get away from it, I don't think is the way. But naturally, as I age and I've gotten older, I've been less Buddhist. I wouldn't say I know what I am right now. I don't think I'm Hindu. I don't think I'm Christian. Maybe I don't have to be anything. Or maybe I am something. But I definitely believe there is spirituality, but I think this material world is just as important. Because if it wasn't, if this world wasn't important, this material realm, then we wouldn't need to be here. But we are. We can't complain because we're here. We have to live with it. Anyway, I'll come back to you guys at our next destination. I've been rambling for long enough. Bro. Here we are, guys, at Wat Suan-dok. Looks like they're fixing it up, but this is one of the older ones we've been to. It's been around since 1370. Looks like they put a Thai royalty in these little things. At least the ancient ones from the northern Thai kingdoms. And this is where they're resting. This is where their ashes are. I'm not sure if you can go in, but there's like a tour squad that just showed up. Maybe it's not closed, but look at this mighty stupa. This was definitely a very important one. It's one of the more grand ones